I mean, just playing a devil's advocate for, real world
Yeah.
evidence. I mean, on one hand, you have RCTs that is a really pristine setup, there's
Hmm.
very little that can go wrong if you do it right. But
Hmm.
real world is messy, as you know, right?
Hmm.
What is the veracity of, reports or results coming via RWE? How much can
Yeah.
we trust it?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So I think there's a few things. One is what's the research question? And could an RCT have been done? If not, why not? So for example, smoking. Pregnancy is another one that RWE is used a lot for because you're not going to expose pregnant women to something that's dangerous. Also with RCTs, oftentimes they're designed in their sample size calculation to test for efficacy. So they do record adverse effects, but they're not testing adverse effects as their primary endpoint, because that wouldn't be ethical. So I think the veracity really depends on how well the study was conducted. So we absolutely can take data from RWE. And this is one of the other things that in recent years there's been a lot of great work on. There's not limitations. So there's assumptions that have to be met. Take exchangeability. So confounders. RCTs in theory, if it's done appropriately, just for measured confounders and unmeasured. RWE is only measured. However, we can do sensitivities for unmeasured confounding. So we can find out how much would we need in order to change this result. A quantitative bias analysis. So here's the actual number that you would need to make these results not what they are, or to change them to be null if there's an effect. So I do think that we can absolutely use RWE. That's honestly that's what 98% of my work is on, both my work and my PhD. So I think we absolutely can. It just requires a well-conducted study. One thing to improve that is following this a target trial emulation approach. So like to write a protocol, what would be ideal in an RCT, and then how well can we do that in RWE, so in our study. And that helps tremendously because it also helps with timing of variables, like making sure everything's before treatment for inclusion exclusion criteria and all those sorts of things.